We're seeing now B'Eiz Hashem Yisbarach, Maseches Pesachim, Daf Nun Vav Amud Beis. Sham Sha'achal, the second part. Kazayis, Vu B'Tzadatanu, Ima Yepikeich Malas Kireisa V'menu. That's what the Brisa says. Why? Because you cannot go and continue eating. We're going to the shitta that holds that you cannot eat two places, two mekoimos. If they want to be nice to him, they come close to the oven and they eat it along with him. He has no choice, he's not allowed to continue eating in a different spot. Taman Omar, there in Bavel, they said, the like Reb Shimon. Because if Shimon says, no problem. According to Reb Shimon, so it's two things. First, you're not allowed to eat in two mekaymes, so in two chaburas. But also, according to Reb Shimon, he can continue eating. He is allowed to eat in two mekaymes. The like Reb Shimon. The Shimon, the Omer Rav Hilla. Even if Shimon agrees that you're allowed to split the Pesach into two chaburas. Besides, if they start eating she'enim achelkim, you're not allowed to split. If they once one chabur, you're not allowed to split into two. And the roof busted. Shimon Omer oikrem heim chelkon v'oichem makam acher. Shimon says you're allowed to eat and start here and finish somewhere else. So this is the machlokes. If you're allowed to continue eating in a different place. So according to this way, Shimon also agrees that you cannot. So what does he want to say now? That it doesn't. They said that the like Reb Shimon, it doesn't go like Reb Shimon. According to Reb Shimon, you're not allowed to eat in two places. No. According to Reb Shimon, you're also allowed to start from the beginning with two different places. Are allowed to. That's not. Reb Shimon never said that's also to do. It's only Reb Shimon is saying that you are allowed to go from place to place. It's interesting. In Babel, he doesn't say like that. But here he's saying if Shimon agrees to this heter of making two chaburas. He said like this. Omar, he said, at what? At Rabbi Yosef v'Chanina boya me'ata hamoitzi en chayv et shosha yoichal. Maybe somebody who was moitzi. It's a new thing here. It's a new. Doesn't have any shaykhs before. Maybe somebody's only chayiv when he starts eating. True. If somebody's moitzi chutz l'chabura, he's only chayiv. That's the din. You only chayiv you actually ate, not just by taking it out. It means it's arrived from this even if it did not eat. In tema ochal lama paslas mecha barase. It says like this: he took out from chabura. He's chayiv, means he's chayiv malchus because the iser from moitzi chutz lechabura. But however, he can still go back to his chabura. So if he say the only din that moitzi is chayiv is if he also ate, so why doesn't he? Such a case for sure he's placed atzma b'nei chabura. The halacha is you're not allowed to eat in two mekaymes according to Tanakh Kama. So Elamai, we're talking here about a guy that took out Tulsa Chabura, but he did not eat. And on this is said that he's chayiv al tzmoitzi, but nevertheless he is not nifsal mrei chaburasai because we say that if you don't eat, why should you become puzzle? So that only makes sense if you say that the isser of Eitzah is not dependent in the inyan of eating. So we say the guy took out, he was over in the lab. However, he can still go back to his chabura and eat. He says no. He says a different svara. He says that this becomes possible, this piece of meat. So, that it could be. I don't think he's changing the I'm not sure, but let's assume that it's talking that he did eat. Maybe in that only then he's chayav al tzmoitzi. Maybe, but you don't say he's posel atzim necha barasa because he ate it over posel. According to that, so how can you say only chayav he ate? He ate also over posel. So it doesn't really help so much the initial iboya, because again the same thing same svara you can say. But I guess you could say maybe that the Gabe the Itzar is only if he ate. The Gabe the Lav Itzar. But the Gabe, he doesn't become possible Mecha Barasa, he ate it over Postel, so he doesn't, no problem. You can still go back to his Chabur. By Do Amar Do, there's a certain Braisa that says this. Yesh Shoiva Achashoiva, and Moitzi Achamoitzi. That's what it says. Ein Moitzi, no such thing as Moitzi Achamoitzi. So what do we see from this Braisa? Oya Do Amar Amra Kimish Ahoitzi Oy Pasalai. Maybe because of that, because it becomes possible. That's why there's no chiyuv moitzi achamoitzi because he's moitzi over postel. It's simply practically not possible. Once you ate it up, it doesn't become possible to chayiv at shosha yochel. So I guess it is the same thing. That according to this shitta, in chayiv at shosha yochel, it means only becomes possible when he eats it up. It doesn't become possible right away. Only becomes nifsal after we ate it. Does not become possible, according to that sad, we say that you're not over Isser, and it doesn't become possible right away, only after you ate it. So according to this, it's impossible. Ve'ech efshar loymar Sheet Dom Milsa is Chilu Elu, Venitmo Elu. Let's say there's a Chabura, and let's call them A and B. People, certain type, 5 people A started eating, and B became Tomei. Zachut Tohoirim, so then is that A can eat the portion of B. They gave out portions already, and then B became Tomei, so A can eat it. As a Phyllis Chilo Elu, when it mohain, his Chilo Elu means B started and they became Tomei. Zachet Toheirim Shaloyas Chilo, again, A is also Zeiche. I was Chilo Elu ve'Elu. It's an interesting Bryce, interesting Gemara here. If both A and B started, the Nitmo Echad Mehem, and one of them, let's say, we say talking about B became Tomei. B became Tomei. Because they're the same level. They both started eating. It's interesting how so they're not. You cannot be zoiche only if you're different than that person. Then you can be zoiche because you're like taking something that is different. But if it's the same level, then you cannot be koine somebody else's chelik. It's interesting halacha, and as far as needs hesber, but this is the fact. If you're both on the same level, you cannot be zoiche that person. Sagt die Gemara, Yochid mafshet yodeh b'chol habayis, ve'ein chabur mafshetes yodeh b'chol habayis. What does this mean? A Yochid is allowed to, it means like this, a Yochid is allowed to run around the whole house. If one person eats a whole carbon Pesach. But if it's a Chabura, don't go around, because then it's considered like you're eating, the Chabura is eating in two places. That's what it sounds from this then. It doesn't sound that it's out. You don't Pesach cannot be eaten with two chaburas. You don't pass like a shimon. It sounds more because it's considered like you're eating in two makaimas. If everybody runs around the house, it sounds like this chabura is eating in two makaimas. I think that's what it means. Frag ma vatanin shnei chaburas. What is the kasha? Vatanin shnei chaburas. So the kasha that has to be, and it's not so clear. Again, the same thing. It's not so clear. La'amad shtayim achas loy, mash chabura achas ha'achas loy, chabura achas chabura achas shori. Lechol Tosam Ba'afich Haspanim. He's going on the Mishnah that the two chaburas Eilo Hoifchem Peneim. But if it's one chabura, according to this, it's not v'hotanina. It's shuvah achas osef haket. According to this, it's not. I'm telling you again, it's not so clear. It's a raya. V'hotanina means a siyata. They're not allowed to eat b'afich spanim. That's what he wants to bring out. V'atanin and ameichem be'emtza. This is already kasha. Let us ask for the shamoshim to put how you can allow to take ameichem be'emtza. Shamish walks and he takes from there. Let it be like he's eating. He's saying that you're not allowed to. One chabura is not allowed to go b'chol habayis. But here, this Gemara is very, very sasam, I'm going to say. But let's just try to figure out some kind of pshat here. This is going on the Mishnah, talking to two chaburas. Two chaburas. Let us make a new iser for the shamish, because you're not sure. It looks like he's going b'chabura al-chabura. And if the Gemara is shamish mechiach, all of shamu chabura. So you can see which part is missing. You see, no, it belongs to there, and nobody's going to be choishesh that he's going to eat another chabura. He's trying to ask somehow, since you see that you have a stoiv, you go around the house. It's like eating from you're eating from one chabura and then going to the next chabura. Maybe this should also be like a shamish is going from one chabura to the next. It's hard to understand the dimi, but that's what he's asking. Vatanina nakala feches panel vecheles mabchiba oba mnei abusha. They matter do it mnei abusha, but matter to be tihoifach. But samazoi, it's not good for a chabura to split into two.